The cars are actually all loaded up on transporters, and they travel through the first circuit and then move their way through Europe, and the drivers get to just basically reappear, catch a flight to whatever country it is, and get themselves to the circuit in question. So a great way of doing it. Sorry, Nige. Comms are barely audible at Druids, I'm hearing, but sorry guys, we've still got cables trying to stretch through the length and breadth of the country, so I know it's tricky. Apparently it's the same on the feed as well, so those of you watching the feed, welcome, but I know that my side of the circuit from the Nicollet commentary box is a lot more faint than the main box. I believe if you listen to Radio Oulton on 94.9 FM, they are quite level. I'm a bit more audible. See, some people would say that's a good thing, but that I'm not audible, but there we go. So, Toyo Tyres 7 race series. The second and final race of the day for the 420Rs, the more powerful of them. 2-litre Ford Duratec engine with a 6-speed sequential gearbox. Limited slip differential, racing suspension, upgraded braking systems, even though the one thing that is good to know is that the engines are sealed by Caterham or Macmillan Motorsport. Andy Mack, good to catch up with him in the pit lane earlier, looking on as the proud dad. Remember, this is a rolling start, so the safety car is heading up Clay Hill already. I'm not sure whether the podium is happening or not. I know that Ian's gone wandering down just in case it is. So the safety car will sort of start bunching the cars up now, so they get into their corridors 2 by 2 by the time they come round, and they'll be under the control of a pole sitter, Jose Magalhaes this time, with Matt Spark alongside him. They'll bring the field to attention onto the start-finish straight, wait for the lights to go off, and that's when they will be unleashed, ready for this battle. Safety car lights are indeed off as they make their way towards Lodge. So 25 minutes of 420R racing are about to get underway. 25 minutes on the clock gets going. The red lights are still on. The field makes its way towards the line. Off go the lights and off go the field. Anthony Barnes has got a lot of work to do from the 5th row. How much is he going to try and do now? How much is he going to be sensible? He's just kind of biding his time by the looks of it. And it looks to me as though, I think that might have been Justin Armstrong that just got bumped a little bit wide in that first corner, but it is the silver car of Jose Magalhaes, our pole sitter, that still has the lead as they turn left at Cascades. Round they go for the first time, all safely through Cascades and disappear off down Lakeside on the field. Another mighty Orange Army. Thank you again to your amazing work to the Orange Army, just removing a bit of caterer bodywork from the circuit so it doesn't get collected. So down they go to Shell Oils, and it is the silver car of Jose Magalhaes that still has the lead. As we wait to see them come, or they're about to go through the Britain chicane first. Magalhaes, with his 10th place finish in race number 1, finding himself on that pole position, will be determined to make this one count as he comes down towards us, going defensive, decides he doesn't need to be, so he goes back to the outside for the racing line under some huge pressure at the moment by the number, I think that's 32 it is, so Lewis Tootle, 32, just ahead of 173 Matt Spark. So he did start on the front row, but he's dropped back 1 place at the moment. Up over Clay Hill they go. So Lewis Tootle in the green number 32, trying desperately to find a way to take that lead. And you'll get that if you've got some of the cars that may have finished outside of the top sort of 6 places, then they'll feel they're in a good place to try and make it count. Number 34, the yellow and black Ian Cowley, he's got bodywork flappy, but he's trying to find a way past Matt Spark as well as they came down towards Lodge for the second time. Through they come. Magalhaes still had the lead, but not anymore. He's been passed by the green machine of number 32, Lewis Tootle, as they came through the first corner, but they're going side by side. In fact, no. So Lewis Tootle drops behind Magalhaes again. So he had it, he lost it on the exit. So he sits there in second place. Magalhaes doing a great job from his pole position. The number 61 car. He started the first race in 11th on the grid, finished in 10th. Leading by way of a pole position at the moment, and is having a cracking battle with Lewis Tootle. Not that surprising, I suppose, because those two were sort of line astern on the opening grid, and it looks like Matt Sparks still holding on, and it's Russ Oliver that is now up there in 4th position. So he's got past Cowley. In fact, Cowley's lost a couple of places by the looks of it. Possibly Gary Smith that's got past Cowley as well. So down they come towards us. Still the Silver Beast that has the lead. Magalhaes from Tootle, from the 173 of Matt Spark. Ross Sullivan, my apologies, it's the 19 car, so it's Stansfield that's moving through. He's now got ahead of Cowley, and I think that Anthony Barnes is just about to make a move as they go up there as well. Up over Clay Hill they went, still under the trees. The 61 car of Jose Magalhaes under massive pressure from Lewis Tootle, but he fends him off as they go through Druid. Side by side as they go towards Lodge. The inside line is the silver car, but the job is already done by Lewis Tootle before they even get to the right-hander of Lodge. Nicely through, and has he made it work on the exit? Yes, he has. So up into the lead goes the 32 car of Lewis Tootle. But already McGuinness is now coming back at him along the start-finish straight. He's going to have the inside line at Old Hall. So back comes McGuinness into the lead, but the tail end steps out on the exit of the corner as they come down through to Denton's, in towards Cascade, side by side. The inside line is going to be the way of Jose McGuinness, and he's held on to it. Second place, Lewis Tootle, after all of that. Third is still Matt Spark, who started on the front rows, doing a great job holding there, and Russ Olivan is with him in that fourth place. Did I hear you, Ian?
You do hear me. I'm back here. So
Okay.
it was an unnecessary journey that time, so we don't have podiums. They do it after the race.
Fine.
So anyway, we've got the race going on. We're now on lap 3, aren't we? And with the reverse grid at the front, that's adds a bit of spice, or spark, you could say.
Absolutely.
Yeah. To the pack going through at the moment for the Britain chicane, and they'll appear back in your sight in a moment, Chris, over the top.
They're here, and it's already McGuinness was keeping himself one side to go defensive. We got a little look for third there from Russ Olivan, but the 55 car has to keep himself in fourth position at the moment. Matt Spark holding on to it. Stansfield, Anthony Barnes. Then it's the 86 car of Steve Riley directly behind him. So Anthony Barnes is hounding Stansfield. The two of them, you wonder whether they're going to work together, Ian, to try and continue to move back through this reverse.
Well,
back.
yes, I think they need to think about doing that, don't they? And they've got time which to do it. It started as a 25-minute race. They've got 19 and a half minutes still. So these reverse grids can work themselves out and provide some spectacular racing in the process, as drivers, not so often to be found leading the race, do so if only temporarily. So coming through at the end of the third lap, the lead is now held by the Portuguese driver, number 61, Jose Magalhães, and in second place now is number 32, Lewis Tootle. In third place is Matt Spark, number 173, and Anthony Barnes is sixth still. Ben Winrow, sorry, not Ben Winrow, his brother, number 46, Jamie Winrow, is in eighth place, just risen to that.
That's good, because that means that whatever issue, well, we know what happened to Jamie Winrow in the qualifying. It didn't look totally happy, did he, in the first race? But coming through this field now, is sat there in eighth place. But so much is happening behind, because the lead changed several places. McGuinness was passed by Tootle, then Tootle got passed by McGuinness again. All the while, Russ Olivan has got himself up into third place now. Oh, there was a yellow flag down at Shell Oils as we were coming back up towards Britain's there. So someone's had a moment down at the hairpin, but I didn't see what it was.
No, we've moved on through. Not looking at that part of the circuit on the screen anymore, but you've got the leaders having it into Knickerbrook.
Yeah, they're down towards me. It's still McGuinness from Tootle. Russ Olivan up in that third. Fourth now is Stansfield. Anthony Barnes has gone with him. Matt Sparks dropped down into sixth position and is under huge pressure already from Riley. So the 86 Riley's now trying to have a challenge at Matt Spark as well.
Okay, leaders into Druids, and is there a change about to happen?
Yep.
Yes, it has, hasn't it? So Tootle in the lead as the cars head. Yes, number 32 leads the way, Lewis Tootle, in the green car, and he will lead over the line at the completion of the fourth lap from Jose Magalhães. And in third place is Russ Olivan. In fourth place, number 19, Mark Stansfield. In fifth place, number 4, Anthony Barnes. In sixth place, 173, Matt Spark. Seventh, number 86 is Steve Riley.
Well, side by side for the lead. Tootle's got the inside line, the Cascades, so McGuinness is forced towards the outside, and in fact that left him vulnerable to Stansfield. Stansfield tried to go up what was the inside there, didn't work, so he's now had to go for the other side down the straight.
He has, and it hasn't quite worked, I don't think. No, it hasn't. As they then make their way into Shell Oil's hairpin.
Well, McGuinness is down to fourth now, so he got unpicked by Stansfield and Barnes there.
Yes.
Wow. So it really didn't work to go for that move, did it, at all? Oliver down to fifth place now. But it's now these two, isn't it? Stansfield and Anthony Barnes that have come through the field, sat there in second and third, and Stansfield's looking towards the inside of the green
Way,
32
yes,
car.
just about, yeah.
Yeah, he's just held himself back far enough to not collect Tutu and just put himself so there was no gap. Anthony Barnes now is trying to have a little nibble at Stansfield. Now they got themselves this far up. Is he able to do anything about it over Clay Hill? Not there, but he's looking good.
Maybe at Druids.
Yeah,
maybe
he's
at
looking
Druids. Here
good
they
for
come
it.
into Druids. No, he doesn't have a go there. But the way he's driving with great confidence and showed that in the first race, I would have thought he's just biding his time and picking his moment rather than rushing his fences to come up with a couple of cliches. Coming down into Lodge Corner then, it is still 32 Tootle who leads. Lewis Tootle coming through out of Deer Leap across the line. And with Maglehurst having dropped back, second place is now Mark Stansfield. Anthony Barnes is third. Maglehurst is still fourth. Fifth is Olivant. Sixth is Spark. Then it's Jamie Winrow, number 46, seventh. Justin Armstrong, number 23, eighth. Ninth is number 20. Not quite showing the pace he showed in the earlier race. He's got a bit of more work still to do. Number 20, Gary Smith. And in 10th place is 86, Steve Riley.
Well, it all changed at that point as they went through the left-hander at Cascades, and Anthony Barnes took the lead, but now they've disappeared down towards Shell Oils. It looks as though Stansfield has managed to make that sweep round him and through, but that was a great run through the left-hander of Cascades for Barnes initially.
Yes, you get more overtaking in 10 laps of Caterhams than you do in the whole season of Grand Prix racing. Did I really say that?
You cynic, you.
Well, anyway, they're making their way through Britons, and the two leaders back into your side. Anthony Barnes is second.
Yep, so Stansfield, I thought he'd managed to gap him slightly, but that disappeared very, very quickly. Here they come through the Hislops, and it is Stansfield from Anthony Barnes, 2 till 32, and now Russ Oliver is up into 4th place ahead of McGallis. And Spark, has he been passed? I missed that. Yeah, Spark's been passed by Jamie Winrow. In fact, Jamie Winrow, he certainly is sorted because it looks like he's bolted himself onto the back of this lead group now as well.
And the other two to watch just behind him are, of course, 23, Justin Armstrong, who was third in the earlier race, and number 20, Gary Smith.
Yeah, they're out of place, really, aren't they, to be honest?
Well, they started, of course, with the reverse grid situation, but nonetheless, they're taking their time about working their way through the pack.
Especially as they were ahead of the lead 2 cars.
Yes, that's right. There's 13 and just over 13 and a half minutes remain. Leaders go through side by side, and Anthony Barnes takes the lead going into Old Hall Corner. So Anthony Barnes leads from Mark Stansfield, Lewis Tootle's third, Russ Olivant fourth, and then Jose Maglehurst, then Jamie Winrow 6th now. And up to 7th has come number 23, Justin Armstrong.
Russ Olivant's looking for 3rd as they came down. I was worried we were going to get contact because it didn't look to me as though Tutu had really seen that he was under pressure from Olivant, as he'd just been recovering from a failed attempt to get back up into the top 2 as he came out of Lodge, but it wasn't to be. Sorry, not Lodge, Old Hall even, but round towards Shell Oils. It is Barnes, and in fact he's managed
getting away.
Yeah, he's left Stansfield in the clutches of the others, hasn't he?
Well, as we've seen so often in Caterham racing, the fact you can open a gap of several lengths doesn't mean to say you're going to hang on to that gap. So we'll see.
Which is why we love it.
Over Hilltop.
Yep, down towards as they come. Anthony Barnes is certainly going defensive. Stansfield's being forced to look towards the outside. He's too far back there. He's trying to switch back. That's not really possible through his lops necessarily, but it meant he could carry some good pace through the right left-hander. Now they're heading through Knickerbrook. Oh, and Lewis Tootle loses the rear end. He caught that well, but he's now tumbling down through the order as he just lets his heart rate settle and he rejoins the circuit. So, although I'm hoping that's not an issue for him because he's steadily rejoined the circuit.
Yeah, bouncing over the grass, he's got to be careful with the car, hasn't he? So, anyway, that's him out of the reckoning now, I'm afraid, for Lewis Tootle. Meanwhile, it's 2 for the lead. The two that were contesting the lead in the previous race have become the 2 leaders again. Anthony Barnes leading Mark Stansfield through Deer Leap over the timing line to complete their 7th lap. And it really is now a battle between these two in the championship, of course. After the earlier race, Anthony Barnes still led. Gary Smith was 2nd, Mark Stansfield 3rd in the championship.
Well, Jamie Winrow's just got up into 3rd in this race. He got past The Russ Oliver 55 car at Old Hall, a cracking move. So he really has got that car back up onto form now, up into a podium paying position. He goes, and the problem for him though is it's a big old margin to the lead two, isn't it? So Lewis Tootle has come into the pit. So the 32 car, it looked like actually an issue was what caused him to lose the rear end through in front of me.
Maybe, yes, that's right. Cars making their way into Britain's, and Lewis Tootle going back into the race.
Not good.
But he'll obviously be out of the running.
I think McGuinness has lost another 2 places on this lap as well, with Armstrong and Smith getting past him. But here is the lead two. Still number 4, Anthony Barnes from Mark Stansfield. Then it's a small gap, and it's Jamie Winrow, 46. He's now closing in. Russ Oliver 4th. Armstrong. Then the number 20 of Gary Smith. McGuinness then sat behind them. So what does that put him down to? 7th position for our pole sitter now, after what has been such a valiant fight for so long, wasn't it?
Yes, he's done well, and we have seen him on the podium occasionally in the past, but this time it's not to be. The 2 leaders, and I think now that Mark Stansfield is beginning to struggle to stay with Anthony Barnes, but that could be deceptive. Could be that he's just dropped back for a quick breather and then will join issue again. Still 10 minutes to go, just under 10 minutes. Leaders through then. The gap first to second, 0.363 of a second. Jamie Winrow is up to 3rd. Russ Oliver down to 4th. Justin Armstrong is up to 5th. Gary Smith is 6th. 7th is Jose Magalhaes. In 8th place is 86, Steve Riley. 9th, Matt Spark, 173. And 10th, let's hear it for Jason Cheetham, who I don't think we've mentioned all day, but is from Middlewich, so he's from not far away.
Well, we had a great fight there because as just disappeared out of your sight is that Oliphant was passed by Armstrong, so Armstrong got up into 4th, then Oliphant got him again down at Cascades, and I think they're still side by side down towards Shell Oils.
Not quite. Well, no, they're not quite side by side, but nearly.
Yeah,
it's nose to tail as they come out of that hairpin.
And that's enabled Gary Smith to join them now, hasn't it? So there's 3 of them for that 4th place backwards.
Fastest lap has now been set by Jamie Winrow at 151.026, and he has risen well to 3rd place after his earlier problems.
Yeah, you can tell that
low-key performance, let's call it that.
Yeah, he's come down as a past champion in another Caterham Championship as well. You know that he's up where he'd expect him to be now.
Yes.
So it's a very out of flavour performance for him. And he's not having to worry about the cars behind him anymore, is he? So he's able to just focus on Barnes and Stansfield ahead of him.
Are you talking him into being the winner? There's still 8.5 minutes.
Absolutely.
He can catch the leading pair.
I'm going to go for it, yeah.
What, the wallet has been unzipped, has it?
Well, the moth have just hit me in the face.
Okay, right. So the leaders turn through Lodge Corner, down into Deer Leap. I think he is catching them, you know. Let's just look at the gap this time through. Barnes to Stansfield is 0.107, and Stansfield to Winrow is 1.4.
Stansfield's taken the lead. The first corner, he just swept through, but he's gone wide, and Barnes has taken him back again.
Yeah.
Darned if you do, darned if you don't with that one, really, aren't you?
Now they're in Cascades, so it's still Barnes then retaining the lead, having briefly lost it, or regaining the lead, having briefly lost it. But are they being caught? Are they being caught by Jamie Winrow?
Moves like that being attempted and not fully coming off is that you've got to assume that's helping him to reel him back in, isn't it? And he's setting those fastest lap time, or he has set the fastest lap time, so he's doing all he can, isn't he? That's for sure. Armstrong and Oliver and Gary Smith behind him. Gary Smith lost contact a little bit with those guys, and remember that Gary Smith arrived here 2nd in the championship standing, so this is not where he wants to be.
No, he's not had a good... Well, he's had a reasonably good day, but not as good as he'd need, really, to sustain his championship challenge.
Down they come towards me now, and it's still Anthony Barnes, number 4, that has the nod at the moment, but Stansfield is just pestering him all the way down the hill in towards Hislops, and through Knickerbrook they go. Jamie Winrow still trying to reel them in slowly but surely. Up over Clay Hill they go, and it doesn't look like Stansfield's quite close enough to have a nibble this time.
Okay, let's have a look. Yes, here they are, turning through Druids on the screen. And the gap first to second, about 4 lengths. Second to third, not much more than that. Jamie Winrow is definitely close up. There's a look on the inside there as they go into Lodge Corner by the second place car of Mark Stansfield, but didn't force the issue there. So as they complete their 10th lap, the gap between them 0.29 over second. Second to third is under a second now. Second to third is 0.6 of a second. It's halved in one lap. Another new fastest lap to Jamie Winrow, 150.823.
Wow.
Don't you wish you'd open your wallet?
Well, exactly right. I mean, it's so close at the moment, especially with the fact that these lead two are fighting amongst themselves. Again, Stansfield was looking at Barnes as they got down towards Cascades. It wasn't really on, so it was more a psychological show of the nose than anything, I think. But all the while, Jamie Winrow is, and he must be able to sense that he's getting close to them as well.
I'm sure, yes. So this is still 5.5 minutes, still time for things to unfold to Jamie Winrow's advantage. Yep, through Britain's and over Hilltop, and you'll see the gap first to second looks to the eye to be much the same as second to third.
Yeah, because Jamie Winrow did another new fastest lap of the race last time, but interestingly the two behind him seem to be working together and have pulled each other into their personal bests of Armstrong and Russ Oliver, so they're trying to drop Gary Smith, which they've done, and now try to reel in the lead three, which is not really been done yet, but they're doing their best about it. But that was a good run for the lead two. Jamie Winrow seemed to drop back a little bit from them this time.
Yes, he does, and that was he wasn't yet being interfered with by them or having to negotiate a back marker. But down they come to Lodge Corner. 4.5 minutes remain. Certainly time for 2 more laps, possibly 3. What are the gaps officially shown to be as they go through? 0.346 first to second, 0.421 second to third. So that gap still come down. Jamie Winrow, Justin Armstrong coming into the picture as well in number 23 in 4th place, and Russ Olivant, number 55, is in 5th place, and he's not out of the picture either.
Well, down towards Cascades they come for the 12th time. The left-hander, Stansfield, didn't really take a look this time, so he's carried the speed through the corner onto the lakeside run, and it has worked for him because he's now got looking very strong down there.
Yes, and he's looking on the, well, what becomes the outside line for the left-hander at Island becomes the inside line for Shell Oils. Now, is he going to be able to get through as they go into the hairpin?
Yep.
Yes, he has.
Wow.
Yes, he has. Round the outside. Great move, that. But, of course, it slowed the pair of them up, and so Jamie Winrow is absolutely part of the party now, isn't he?
He is. There's 3 of them all together, line astern, and that all really came from, for me, Stansfield not making a lunge down at Cascades. He was able to take his full speed through the corner onto that lakeside run. Down towards us, he's gone semi-defensive as we come down towards his lot. But he still held on to that lead. Anthony Barnes in second. Jamie Winrow now firmly with them. He's got the flavour. You can tell it as he comes through Knickerbrook, heading up Clay Hill. We've only got 3 minutes left to go, but it is 3 for the lead.
Yes, well, a lap time 1:51, so they've got time for this lap plus, I would say, just about 2 more. Yeah, 2 more laps. So leaders through Druids then. Could we throw another question mark into the equation by suggesting Justin Armstrong might catch them too? Anyway, as they go into Lodge Corner, there was an attempt by Anthony Barnes to retake the lead. He comes alongside, he's trying to work his way through to the inside line as they go into Oulton Corner. They're side by side as they go over the line. In fact, all 3 are side by side. Jamie Winrow's there as well. Anthony Barnes does retake the lead going into Oulton Corner from Mark Stansfield, and Jamie Winrow goes the other side, so it's almost 3 abreast as they go through go through Denton's.
And Stansfield somehow managed to retake Barnes again as they got down towards Denton's. I'm not sure how that happened.
But Justin Armstrong's almost in the picture too, isn't he?
He is, and now we're going side by side for the lead again. Barnes is going to try to do to Stansfield what Stansfield did to Barnes last time.
Well, into Shell Oils, they're side by side, as you say. Yes, it could be a mirror image of what happened on the previous lap.
This is the fastest game
Anthony
of
Barnes.
chess.
It's what, sorry?
The fastest game of chess.
It is chess, and it must require considerable mental concentration as well to focus on what the cars are doing around you, what your gaps are, what you...
Well, and that gap is that, as you called was going to happen, it is now 5 for the lead.
Yes.
Because Armstrong and Oliphant have closed in, and now we're going side by side. Barnes is looking up the inside at Stansfield. Oh, and Stansfield's been bumped towards the grass by Anthony Barnes, so he drops down to third. Up goes Jamie Winrow to second, and Anthony Barnes is in the lead. He didn't do anything wrong, but 2 into 1 doesn't work.
He forced the issue, took the line, and got through. So Anthony Barnes back in front. All those behind don't need reminding that it's Anthony Barnes, because he's got his name written in big white letters on the back of his car, you notice. So out of Druids they go, and it'll be this is the penultimate lap. 1 lap after this one, turning through Lodge Corner. So what was 2 became 3, and it's now become 5 in the leading group. Over the line they go, and the order as they start what will be their 14th lap. The order is Jamie Winrow in the lead. Stansfield is second. What has happened to Barnes?
He is in the lead, so there must be a transponder issue.
It can only be that. Yes, I was going from the screen, and it says Winrow in the lead.
So yeah, I was confused.
Anthony Barnes. Yes, he's there. So it's Barnes, Winrow, Stansfield, Armstrong, Oliphant are the top 5. Then Riley, Smith, Magalhaes, Spark, and Cowley complete the top 10. On to the last lap.
Yeah, down towards Shell Oils. It was more Winrow under pressure from Stansfield, which is good news for our leader, isn't it?
Yeah, it's always disconcerting when you go off the screen, assuming that it's the same on the track, and suddenly it's gone missing from the screen. What you're building up can't quite. Well, it is actually happening. It is still Anthony Barnes. He's in the lead as the cars make their way through Britain's for the final time. Can he make it a double?
Well, he's certainly got a little bit of a margin over Jamie Winrow at the moment, down for the final time towards his lops we come. And if anything, Winrow's probably more mindful of Stansfield behind him as he sat up on the second step, although that was a good run through there. Closed up on Barnes as they come in towards Knickerbrook. Up Clay Hill they go. Definitely all about the top 3 for me, with 2 behind them ready to pick up the pieces.
Right, here they come. I don't see any changes happening at Druids unless somebody makes a mistake.
Which we've had from some others down here.
Yeah. Oh, right. So here they come then, under the vehicle bridge, and the order unchanged from what you had. Is it going to change, however, as they come into Jamie Winrow on the outside line? He's going to make a move as he opens the door to let Stansfield get through, but Stansfield gets alongside. But Anthony Barnes is going to be the winner for the second time today. Anthony Barnes wins. Anthony Barnes wins the second of the 420R races from Mark Stansfield in second. Justin Armstrong comes through and takes third place. A mighty effort by him in the closing stages. He takes his second, third of the day.
It will be 4th because that's not registering Barnes yet. There you go. It's updated now. It keep missing Barnes,
but that's right. So no doubt about the win. Anthony Barnes with a faulty transponder. Jamie Winrow takes second. Mark Stansfield is third. Justin Armstrong is 4th. Russ Oliphant is 5th, 6th is Steve Riley, number 86, 7th is number 20, Gary Smith, 8th is 61, Jose Magalhaes, 9th is 173, Matt Spark, and 10th, number 34, is Ian Cowley. Well, a classic Caterham race. They're all classics, most of them are anyway. There's always a large number of cars, all very well driven, and incredibly close racing. And we haven't finished with the Caterhams, of course, because we have the second 310R race to come. I'll go down and see whether we can get to the podium a bit more swiftly this time.
Yeah.